I just want to have a look at the story that came out tonight, which we didn't break last night, but we certainly added a context to it last night that others didn't, which was the tax cuts that National have been promising and shouting from the rooftops the average New Zealander will get affects 0.015% of households. Yep. 99.85% of households it's not entitled to. So let's just have a listen. And to be honest, I watched TVNZ News tonight and I think this is the clip, but because we've been live, I hadn't had a chance to actually queue it up. I'm pretty sure this is it. No, there's definitely one from TV3 that I can play as well. Let's have a look at the story and then we'll wrap it up for the night.
Nicola Willis, David Seymour, Winston Peters. Try as they will to play it down, one of them is on track to be the next Deputy Prime Minister.
That won't be for me to decide, that will be for the Prime Minister to decide.
Oh, look, I'm not going to make those silly comments or remarks that others are making.
For ACT, it's always been about policies for people rather than positions for politicians.
There are power plays aplenty. On the one hand, David Seymour is crucial to National forming a government, and ACT will likely bring in more of the party vote than New Zealand First. So does Seymour want the job?
Less than I want to make sure we get good policies.
On the other hand, the polls have New Zealand First as kingmaker, giving Winston Peters the ultimate trump card.
Do you want someone there who's been in the cabinet?
So yes, he wants it.
He's got experience.
In the eyes of voters, though, Nicola Willis should take the reins. 34% of voters.
Look, if National win, of course she should be Prime Minister. Without question, she should be.
And David Seymour. Unfortunately, that's not a promise Christopher Luxon can make.
Nicola Willis will be our Finance Minister, I will be our Prime Minister, and beyond that we will have discussions and work that through in coalition.
What I've accepted is that that is a decision for the Prime Minister.
The power of Peters, the so-called surge, is pushing National into overdrive.
Let's change this government. Let's go. Hi, everyone.
Even drawing out to party big gun and current.
Hi, everyone.
What the fuck is
Chris
this?
Luxon and his national team.
If the ANZ Bank want to endorse a political party by having their chairman out there doing that, then that's really a question for the ANZ Bank.
If he's no longer chair, have as close a connection as you like. But it should be concerning ANZ as well.
The bank's very relaxed about that. Everyone knows I wear my heart on my sleeve.
New Zealand First isn't only making National nervous, while 29% of voters we polled trust Winston Peters to be a stable coalition partner. A majority, 58%, do not.
Well, as I understand it, about 30% do. Now, that's pretty impressive given the kind of treatment I've had.
As for who will be Deputy Prime Minister...
What?
No, I'm not going to pick between three completely awful options.
I think I'd probably move to Australia.
The final word on that, not in just yet.
So there you go. That actually wasn't the story we're going to look at, but I have found it. So we'll go straight from one TVNZ story to the other. And the reason I actually do want to play this TVNZ story as opposed to the News Hub one, I'm just going to make sure that's it. Yes, look, the next one might play. So I'll just bear with me, people. Oh look, there's a warning from them. I'll just do that so I can do this. I don't know. They're just being. I've also got I've got messages in my Twitter feed that their lawyers want to talk to me. Don't worry, I'll show you all afterwards.
Wow.
Well, shall I read it to you?
Wow.
I'll read it to you. It says this. Kia ora, we are attempting to urgently get in touch with whoever is running the live stream on our multi-party debate through the Big Hairy News YouTube channel. If you can share a contact phone number, our legal counsel would like to get in touch. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. Here's the story about the 3,000 households. I heard from someone today, I think Spider heard from me, were talking, and the thing that she said was, isn't it interesting that they copped the 3,000 so quickly? I wonder if it's less. You know, isn't it interesting that they said so quickly? Okay. Yep, it's 3,000. Maybe. Interesting. Here we go. We have a look at this. Because this is the news story that CTU broke last night.
It's time to take scam prevention to the next level.
Labor promising to set up a unit to detect, prevent and prosecute the swindlers. But talk...
Hey TVNZ, we're using your footage right now.
...of scamming ordinary Kiwis.
Today we've just discovered how much of a scam National's tax of house cards actually is. 99% of Kiwi households won't get the $250 a fortnight that the National Party's been indicating.
Now, that infuriates me. That infuriates me. We've found out today that we, the Labour Party, who should be doing due diligence, found out today, based on this policy you guys released, what, 6 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, that it's only 99%, it's only 1% of the population, it's less than that. What the fuck have you been doing, Labour, for the past 3 to 4 weeks? Why did it take the CTU to go through the numbers? Who in your back room should have been going through the numbers and coming out, should have known that the day after it was released, not 10 days from an election? I'm sorry, I know that people are like, don't talk Labour down. Oh, don't talk them down. But accept some responsibility for the shithouse job you're doing, Labour. We found out today that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What have you guys been doing for the past 6 weeks?
National of scamming ordinary Kiwis.
Today we've just discovered how much of a scam National's tax of house cards actually is.
We just discovered that today.
99% of Kiwi households won't get the $250 a fortnight that the National Party's been indicating.
National's flagship $14 billion.
They should have been screaming that from the rooftops
the Council
a
of
month
Trade
ago.
Unions did the numbers.
Yeah, Council of Trade Unions did the numbers. Why didn't Labour do the numbers? Why didn't the Greens do the numbers? Why didn't Te Pāti Māori do the numbers?
National admitting, yes, that number is correct.
I don't feel that I did bluster. I think that we've been really clear that it's an up-to figure. And yes, around 3,000 families would get that maximum entitlement, but many more besides will get other benefits from our plan.
We've always said, look, up to $250 a week for an average household income.
But One News has discovered multiple examples where the words up to are not used.
For an average household income family with young kids, that would mean $250 a fortnight. An average household income family with young kids gets $250 a fortnight.
This economist...
Now, can you remember, though, there's this little enemy of TVNZ internet broadcast group that was saying from day one, why isn't the media also saying up to? Why did TVNZ not push back on that? TVNZ, the big commercial entity that wants the little guys not to be heard. Why didn't they push back? Because we said it from day one. It's up to, it's up to, it's up to. Every graphic that TVNZ said, none of them said up to. We showed you. Most graphics that TV3 did, they had a few that said up to, but most of them just said $250 a week. We've been saying it. Why haven't you? And Labour, why have you just discovered today?
Says while he's not surprised at the 3,000 number, it will surprise some.
Is it a scam, is it misleading, or is it simply politics?
I think it's clever marketing that's plausibly deniable as misleading. I don't think it's some sort of something you could take to the Commerce Commission as unfair trade, but it's certainly quite stark to see it up there as 3,000.
More than 250,000 Kiwis have used National's tax calculator to find out what they'd receive.
$40 a fortnight, a few more groceries, a bit more meat.
$13. It's a bit of a privilege being on a pension, actually.
Looking at the cost of living at the moment, $150 is nothing,
They reckon once a fortnight I'd be better off by $44. So that's $30 a week.
We still haven't got any validation of what those figures are other than what we're being told by the politicians.
I'd rather pay more tax and have better social services.
So National says if you want to find out how much you'll get, check out the tax calculator yourself.
All right, Katie, up to $250.
Yeah, we don't need to go through this. I think we've popped our cherry on that enough, Chewy. But I just wanted to show that, and the reason I wanted to show the TVNZ version and not the TV3 version was Chippy saying, we've just discovered today.
We've just found out.
We've just found out. That wasn't in the TV3 story, and that infuriates me. How can a political party fighting for their lives wait 10 days out from an election to have the CTU do the work for you, which is probably this is their centerpiece flagship policy launch. This is what all the money's going into. $250 a fortnight, $125 a week, as we've been liking to say. This is bit. And if Labour from day one had been saying, yeah, but that's only for 0.15% of people. So they're spending 50% of their time, I don't know what the number is, but it's disproportional, telling people about this policy that only impacts 1/8 of 1% of people. Why isn't this been getting pointed out? It really, I guess it's what we do, Chewy. As soon as we hear, for example, New Zealand First saying our website doesn't do that, what we do is go, website. Oh, yes, it does. Grab. And then we've got it. It feels like Labour's been going, oh, oh, someone looked at the numbers. Let's use those 10 days out from the election.
And this is what I mean. Like I've been saying a few times that right-wingers should be angry at National for being this fucking shithouse. This is what I meant. How furious I am at the major part of the left being so fucking shithouse at the job that they should have been doing, right? Like, both of our major parties are failing us in epic fashion. For National, the guys that are saying, give us a go, it's time for change, have concealed, fudged, lied, held their information until the very last fucking moment. Like, this has come out when early voting has already started. Yeah. People have potentially made their decision to vote for National on false information.
Yeah.
Like, if you're talking about eroding a democracy, David Seymour, that's fucking up there, man. Like, yeah. You know what, being honest, I don't know if it would stop people from voting for National, but if there is a disengagement from the left at the moment, because they're like, no, well, there's been no fight, there's been no pushback. This could have been fight, this could have been pushback, this could have engaged an audience. So either maybe some people wouldn't have believed National, maybe not voted for them, I doubt that, but it certainly possibly would have engaged the left better. And you know, there's that old saying, if the left vote, the left wins.